Hello, everybody. It's Kirk from The Next Level Now. One of the things that I have always enjoyed, even as a young student in grade school, high school, was the use of words, vocabulary. I just, I, I'll admit it, I was a nerd. Okay. I liked that. I enjoyed using new words. I enjoyed finding places where they belonged and how could I substitute in another word and maybe deepen the meaning of what it was that I was trying to say. I was at one point through high school, again when I was in college, spent time pulling 2 or 3 words out of the dictionary and memorizing their meaning with the idea that I was going to use those words through the course of the day several different times as a way of expanding my vocabulary. I think it was instinctive at that point for me to realize that communication is the key to better understanding, and the better understanding, gets us better cooperation. For most of the time as a student, it was cooperation between me and the teacher so that I could get the desired result that I was looking for from taking those courses. But communication is key. It's huge in everything we do, whether it's building that relationship at home with a spouse, with your children, fellow employees, an employer, or if you are the employer, you want that relationship with your underlings, your bosses of different sections within your own business. Communication is huge. But as my good friend Tamika Thomas has stated, communication words only make up about 7% of the entire communication process. Now, that's kind of interesting. What fills the rest of that gap? Well, as we start to get into studying this, which Tamika and I have done as Toastmasters for several years, and as we're bringing some of these thoughts to you through our platforms here on The Next Level Now, there's different things that you can do. I can talk to you about learning how to use different words. I can use a word like stupendous. And by giving you not only that word, but just that moment for that word to register, sink into your mind, that's stupendous. Oh, yeah, he means great. He means this is excellent. And it registers. I can use hand gestures, which is very difficult for me here on this phone, but I can tell you that it was an enormous thing. It was a stupendous thing, and you can't see my hands anymore because I have them outstretched. But I can also do things with my facial expression to help drive home a point. I am very, very cross with you. Or, I'm so happy to see you. Those things add to your communication skill. Communication is also a two-way street. You have to be aware of that. Communication is also listening. It's auditory. Hearing and understanding what that other person is saying. This is probably, to me, the most forgotten part of communication. You have to be able to do this in order to be able to communicate well. I've learned this through trial and error over 45 years of being a chiropractor. My patients come into the office. They're very, very excited to tell me what's wrong. They're in discomfort and pain. They're in an environment that they don't particularly like being in. They don't want to be in a doctor's office. Not many of us do. And therefore, they're trying their best to be as clear and as specific as they can. Or there's the type that just don't know what to say, so they just clam up. Either way, it's very difficult for the physician to truly understand. The more I understand where the pain is, what starts the pain, what kind of pain it is, what kind of descriptive words can we use? Is it radiating? Is it stabbing? Is it throbbing? Is it aching? Is it pulsating? Is it, all of these different things, but the patient's not thinking that way. They're not seeing it. So the lesson that I'm trying to get to is once someone is done with their explanation, your job as part of the communication team is to then say, hey, this is what I think that I heard, and repeat it back to them as best you can. And when they get done hearing what it is you have to say, then they can either say, yes, that is correct, or no, that's not quite right. This is what I meant here. When we have that great communication, we have much better cooperation. Think about it, guys, and this happens to me all the time, and I have to be so careful with it. My wife will say, the garbage needs to go out. Yes, it does. I'm aware of that. Then I have to ask the question, did you mean you want me to take the garbage out now? Because a lot of times that's what she means. So, communication, it's a skill, and we have to work on it. And I hope that you can do that on your own as well. But hey, if not, we're also here to help you with the next level now. I hope that you've enrolled and become part of Tamika Thomas's deep dive boot camp on polishing up some of those communication skills. That's for the next few Saturdays from 8 to 10 a.m. Don't miss this. This is awesome. Please go, though, to also our The Next Level Now YouTube channel. Be sure and follow, share, and like all these videos. We're doing our best to help you become the best version of you that you can be. All right, talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.